So last week we ended up with 59 herb lore at the end of the week. So this week, just finishing off our herb lore, we're getting 60 for now. So we need one level. So we're going to continue making super energy potions. So from 59 to 60 herb lore, you should make 221 super energies, and that should take about 6 minutes. Next up, we're going to move on to crafting. We're going to get 61 crafting for now. 61 will let us do lunar diplomacy and a lot of crafting requirements for stuff. So for this crafting, we're going to be doing rubies. At the time of making this video, Dragon Slayer 2 is coming out real soon. So lots of people are training for the requirements for that quest, and crafting is one of the requirements. So crafting is pretty expensive right now. Normally, water battle staffs would be a pretty good way to go once you hit their requirement, which is like 50 something. But they're really expensive right now, so we're just going to be doing rubies the entire way. If you want to check how much it costs to do water battle staffs, you can. This is going to take most of our money after doing that herb lore, and then this crafting, we're going to be pretty low on money. If you've been following me exactly, you should have enough, but if you don't, just go and do a little bit of hunter. It shouldn't take too long to make enough to have enough to do this. So you buy uncut rubies, you use a chisel on the uncut rubies, that will turn them into cut rubies, and yeah, that's basically the crafting method. It's actually kind of AFK, it's really quick experience, and it's not too expensive. And I might have mentioned this earlier on in the series, but one of the biggest mistakes I see new players make is they choose to go with the slower training method because it's cheaper, or it might make them some money. And if that's a fun way to play to you, then go ahead and do that. But if you're trying to do things quick, you want to be efficient, you definitely don't want to do that. That is the biggest mistake I see people make. Usually the people who play that way don't get very far because it just takes so much longer. You definitely want to go with a faster method just about all the time. There are a few things you want to take into account, just like I'm not doing water battle staffs right now. If the methods are pretty close to the same, but one is a lot more expensive, then that's, when you might want to go with the slower method. You can calculate this based on how much money an hour you can make, but almost all the time you want to go with the faster method and then just have a good money maker that you can go and make money with to pay for it. So from level 49 to 61 crafting, you should have to cut 2,478 rubies. Should take about 1 hour, getting 210k XP per hour. So after we finish that crafting grind, up next is rune crafting. So personally, one of my favorite skills, although a lot of people hate this, so this might be pretty hard grind for you, but sell all your rubies, sell all your crafting stuff that you bought, sell all of your herb lore stuff. After I did that, I had a little over 1 mil. So all the stuff we're going to want to buy for rune crafting, once again, if you don't have enough, just go do a little bit of hunter and you should be able to make enough pretty quick. So the supplies you're going to want to buy for rune crafting is 26,000 pure essence, 150 binding necklaces, 26k earth runes, 1.5k earth talismans, and 150 dueling rings. It shouldn't be too expensive, like it should be less than $1 mil. Then you also want to buy about, I would guess, like 200 mithril darts. We're gonna go kill some stuff. And in one of my other videos, you guys pointed out that mithril darts are a lot better than iron knife, so thank you for that tip. We'll save a few K using some mithril darts, but before we start our rune crafting grind, you want to get some range gear or some monk robes, a couple prayer potions, and some food, our mithril darts, and then you want to head up to the abyss. Actually, before you go to the abyss, if you've been following me exactly, then that means you haven't talked to the Zami mage in Varrock. So first you want to teleport to Varrock, go to the Zamorak temple down in the southeastern part of the city, speak to the Zami mage there, go through all the chat options, and then you can head up to the abyss, which is, you get there by using the teleport option on the Zami mage up in Edgeville Wilderness by the river, and there will be lots of monsters in there, so you want to protect from melee. And then you want to kill the lowest level creatures, the little level 41s. They all have the same chance of dropping pouches, which is what we're going for. They have 10 HP, and I think the drop rate is something like 1 in 40 for the pouches, so it should be pretty quick. I prayer flicked to save prayer potions, but you don't have to. If you don't prayer flick, though, I'd bring more prayer potions. And you'll be skulled when you enter, and your prayer will drop to 0 when you enter, so you do want to bring at least a few prayer potions, even if you're prayer flicking. And when you're running up here, it is in the wilderness, so don't bring anything that you're scared to lose, because you could be attacked by a PKer, although the chances of actually dying before you get teleported is pretty low. So there's 2 pouches we want. We want the medium pouch and the large pouch. That's all we're going to need. So once you have those 2 pouches, you can head over to the bank and start rune crafting. So the rune crafting method we're going to be using is fire runes up until 23 and then lava runes from there. So we should already be, or at least I was at 22 from Tears of Guthix. You may be a little bit lower because that is kind of random. But you want to do fire runes up until 23. Fire runes are very simple. You want to, I forgot to mention this, but you do want a fire tiara, so go buy a fire tiara from the Grand Exchange. Put on your fire tiara. You don't need to use any pouches yet. We won't be using our pouches until we're 50 rune crafting because the runs are so quick that the pouches, it's not worth it to fill up the pouches and use the essence on the altar because the runs are just so quick. So for fire runes, what you want to do is use your dueling ring to teleport to the duel arena, run north. There's some mysterious runes there. Enter the runes. You should be able to if you're wearing your fire tiara. And then inside, you click on the altar and you'll craft all your essence, which you should have in your inventory. It'll turn all those into fire runes and give you some experience. Then you use your dueling ring to teleport back to the Castle Wars bank. Grab another inventory of essence and then teleport back to the duel arena and repeat until you are level 23 rune crafting. So that's very simple and easy. Should only take a couple minutes to hit level 23, and that's when we can do lavas, which are a little bit more complicated, but they're still very simple. I'll put a link down in the description to a lava rune crafting guide. Since we don't have a high magic level and we haven't done lunar diplomacy yet, I will put a guide to a skilling lava rune method because the way we're going to be doing it is a little bit different from a main account. And so it would be a little bit more efficient to do this rune crafting after we have 80 plus magic and lunar diplomacy done so that we can use magic imbue. But I've been trading off a little bit of the efficiency in some of these skills in order to make our hunter skill more efficient, our money making more efficient, and I think as far as this account, and I think as far as the goals of this account, it will make me get to those goals quicker doing it the way I'm doing it right now. And so if you don't want to go watch an entire video about lava rune crafting, I'll just go over it really quickly. You want to wear weight reducing gear if you have any, so your graceful and your spottier cape. You want to wear a fire tiara, you want to wear a binding necklace, and you want to wear a dueling ring along with a pickaxe. Actually, you don't need a pickaxe right now. Then as far as your inventory, you want to have your earth runes, and then pure essence, and then one earth talisman. You teleport to the duel arena with your dueling ring. You run north to the ruins. Just like with fire runes. You enter it, you go to the altar, and you use your earth talisman on the altar, and that will turn the runes in your inventory into lava runes. And lava runes are unique from fire runes and other just elemental and plane runes because with other runes you have to sit and wait like a couple seconds before you can do any other action. But with lava runes, you can do another action after starting to runecraft them like instantly. So as soon as you use your earth talisman on the altar, teleport to Castle Wars as fast as you can. You don't have to wait. Your binding necklace has 16 charges. It loses 1 charge every time you do an inventory on the altar. So since we're not using any pouches, it should break every 16 runs. So from level 23 to 50 rune crafting, you have to craft 9,052 lava runes, which should take about 2 hours and 25 minutes, getting 40k XP per hour. Once you hit 50 rune crafting, you want to get your pouches out. You want to use all 3, so small, medium, and large. And you also want to start bringing 2 earth talismans every trip instead of 1. You want to use your first earth talisman on the first inventory, and then after you empty your pouches, use your second earth talisman on the altar. You also want to get out your pickaxe if you don't already have it out. When your pouch breaks, then you want to teleport to Edgeville with a glory amulet. Then you want to run over to the abyss, enter the abyss, and in the very center of the abyss is a dark mage that will fix your pouch. After you speak to him and get your pouch fixed, then I'd recommend crafting some nature runes. So in the abyss, there is kind of like 2 spots or 2 rings. There's the outer ring with all the monsters. Then you get into the inner ring by passing one of the obstacles. It's best to go either through the agility obstacle or the mining obstacle because you are spawned closest to one of those. Once you're inside the inner ring, there is going to be a bunch of little like spots with rune symbols on the wall. The rune symbol indicates which altar it will teleport you to. So to craft nature runes, you just click on the spot that has the nature symbol. The nature symbol spot is on the northern part of the ring. So it will teleport you to the runes, the altar, and then you just craft nature runes by clicking on the altar. And after you craft your nature runes, just teleport over to the Castle Wars Bank once again and repeat or start doing your lava rune crafting once again. Once you hit 59 rune crafting, you want to do double cosmics instead of nature runes on your pouch repair run. Also, a mithril pickaxe is the lightest pickaxe, besides actually black pickaxe is the lightest now. And the obstacles inside the abyss, it doesn't matter what type of pickaxe you have. So I would take either a black pickaxe or a mithril pickaxe. Level 50 to 60 rune crafting, you're going to have to craft 16,420 lava runes. It should take about 3 hours, 40 minutes, getting 50k XP per hour. So after you hit 60 rune crafting, pretty much sell all your rune crafting gear. And I had very little money after selling everything. That's when I decided to go do some black chins. Get 77 hunter, possibly a little bit higher. You want to have at least like a 1.5 mil bank before moving on. So it should only take like an hour or maybe a little bit longer. That's where I ran out of time this week, so that's where we're going to leave the video off. We're just about done skilling. We're going to use this money to get our construction up, and then just a few other little levels until we have 1250 total level. And that's where the biggest grind of this account is going to come from. But we're going to knock off 2 of our major goals, which is a godsword set. We're gonna have even more money than we'll need for a godsword set. We'll have quite a bit of money after this next grind, and we'll also have a 99. So after that, really the only goals left will be all hard diaries, barrows, gloves, and 105 combat, and we should be able to knock all of that stuff out pretty quick after.